Thank you for listening to this update on the next steps for the London AHP Informatics and Digital Network. In the next couple of minutes, we will briefly summarise the results of our discussions in the last meeting and outline the basis of the 3 work streams for us to pursue throughout 2021. We will look to be in touch soon to share a brief survey for you to express an interest in which of the work streams you are interested in getting involved in the coming year. Before we elaborate on the work streams, I will remind us all of the vision statement and objectives of the group. We are a leadership network with a shared interest of improving healthcare using digital technology as an enabler. We want London to be the best city for health and to work as a digitally enhanced AHP. We want to facilitate high quality patient care and ensure the experience for staff is optimal. Our first work stream we discussed in the previous meeting is education and development, where we focused on opportunities for staff, career pathway development and digital literacy of individuals, groups and organisations. The group have proposed that this work stream could have variable objectives and projects which can be started in 2021. The opportunities for digital advancement through fellowships and postgraduate learning should be compared to options of how portfolio careers can be developed alongside clinical practice. The benefits and disadvantages of each could be examined. We should also engage with higher education institutions to start to see where digital skills and knowledge can be integrated into undergraduate and postgraduate programs, as well as investigating where student placements can be impacted by digital technologies. This workstream should also define the different areas of digital which can be the basis of further development. This could mean clinical informatics, or mobile app development, or the use of specific technologies such as artificial intelligence. Digital is such a broad concept, it gives staff lots of potential areas of engagement. There was a keenness to develop a repository of resources to enhance digital learning, as well as the use of the network for dissemination. The final area of this workstream should focus on surveying staff and patients in order to describe the levels of digital engagement, perceptions, literacy, proficiency and accessibility across London. The next workstream is population health. Our discussions were focused on the current models of shared data for healthcare across London. This would also include describing the integrated care systems in the region. The discussions also considered how we could standardise informatics practices across populations to enhance patient care. The first step could be to describe the organisational structures across London where integrated care systems interact with London organisations and where organisations are external to the ICSs. There was a strong suggestion that work could focus on developing a series of use cases across professions to illustrate best practices or examples of where lessons were learned in order to benefit the wider network. These may include illustrating best practices of how services and organisations can integrate clinical outcome data into population datasets, and how this could benefit population health management. This may also include elaborating upon the utility of different data collection and exchange functions in the electronic health record. For example, this may involve considering how SNOMED or ICD-10 data could give best use to clinical practice and can be combined with outcome data. It should include developing standards of practice of data collection and use, which should of course inform a wider vision and strategy for the best use of data to enhance population health. The final work stream is Mapping London, which in essence is describing the specific context and characteristics of London as a region. Our discussions focused on whether this should include local systems, patients, or the workforce, or a combination of the three. One of the preliminary steps could be repeating the data maturity level survey of organisations previously completed by the AHP leads for Steve Tolan NHS England. This would help identify where change has been made since the first survey due to pre-planned transformation or in light of the pandemic. Further context could be given by describing the characteristics of NHS organisations for comparison across the network. This would help map where certain electronic health record systems are being used, the extent by which organisations are using digital mechanisms for operational work, for example e-rostering, or the systems used for the provision of digital care, remote monitoring systems, platforms for remote consultation, or mobile health apps, for example. The organisation mapping should also describe the network of relationships between NHS organisations and industry. The other side of describing the status of the London region should focus on the people within it, the patients and the workforce. This should link with work within the education and development workstream and should consider investigating key subgroups within the patient population for specific project work to enhance accessibility and engagement with technology. For the workforce, projects could focus on the differences in confidence, motivation and competence in staff across organisations, as well as internal education and development strategies being employed in those organisations. We would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your involvement and engagement with the network so far. Look out for our email that we will be sending shortly, and you can give us your preferences of where you would like to engage with these work streams, and we look forward to your involvement. Many thanks.